Good evening and welcome to Gustav Making Stuff. And this time, orcs and goblins, we are going to make orc armor, my interpretation of it. Anyway, this can also be very well used as a post-apocalyptic armor because they are brown and they are rusty and they look horrible and they look like they're made out of other stuff. Also I have arms and a chest piece for it, so let's get going with it. Yeah, so we're starting by this little childhood template I have for making your own helmet, which I got when I was like 5 or something. And now I'm actually extending it by scale, just making it 2 centimeters bigger. I have an averagely smaller head than most humans I ever noticed in later years now. So that's why this is working fantastic for me, and also for a human. But anyway, my head is unproportionally small. However, now I will just glue all these pieces together with the glue gun. All of these scrap pieces are very good because they look chaotic and made from whatever you can find, and even older stuff like that. It's perfect, even in a post-apocalyptic world, you use scraps like that. Anyway, so now we are also going to have this little squared thing here to put on the top, so it will look very nice indeed, and also see that it will fit me or other people. And it does, except my nose is poking out there. But you cannot get everything here in life. This will save a lot on the makeup stuff when we are going to film this little project here. Anyway, so now let's make the cosmetic things here by trying to making it a little bit of scary thing here, which is also some kind of thing that boggles me, like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Like, oh, Sauron's army is just pure evil and they are like that. They're like, oh, what is the agenda of the orcs? Why are they living? How would the life will be if it's total darkness everywhere? Will they actually be happy? Is this like his way of living? I don't know. This is things that keeping me up at night sometimes. Except when I have a nerd friends that can actually solve these questions for me, but I think their answers are not very fun. Anyway, so now let's see, just do some straps here to make the eye protective armor thingy so they don't get sword pointed out in their eyes. Which I'm actually very happy with this, how this turned out, because I had no idea how it would end or, you know, anything. I didn't have any concept art or anything for going for this, just going by, see how it turns out. And there we have Spikes. This looks like an evil hockey player that actually have a helmet that protects from stuff, not like Jason's mask doesn't protect anything. Here's another part I just had lying around that I could use just to see how it will turn out. And it turned out fine. So you see I've done almost the same thing there, and also added some little ears there to make a little bit of character for this helmet in question. And I also made this one, which looks kind of like one of the bad guys from Fist of the North Star, but whatever, that's a cool movie. There we go, 3 of them. Now, I've done just a little wrap around my arm there with some paper and cut it out to make a little template there to cut out. I used these templates for years now. It's very good for having on your arms and just mirror the same thing. So now, we are now going to cover everything with spikes here, because why not? If you're going to run in and do damage to people, let's just be filled with spikes, so it will be hard. Because there is this thing with orcs, like in Warhammer and stuff like that. That they having the numbers. They are very many. That's how they do it. They just flood everything. It wouldn't really work in reality, but whatever. Now let's put in some paper clips here to make it look like rivets. So it has been attached in some ways in metalworking. You see, there we go. It looks fantastic indeed. So now we will actually protect the floor and everything, because this, what I'm going to do is going to be messy and lots of parts. So have some place for them to dry. And also we have another big costumes that I'm painting at the same time. So starting here by painting everything very flat brown. And you are going to do this multiple times, because I actually have like 3 times 4, that's like 12 out of costume pieces just for the arms for all these 3, so it takes some time. Anyway, so now let's go into rub in some silver paint here to make it a little bit more of you know, worn armor there. So it helps it to look a little bit more sharper, because if you add shiny things to pointy ends, they look immediately sharper in your mind anyway. So now let's see here how it will look like, a little bit more metal-ish here. And also we kind of have some black here to put in some, to make some of this cracks and details and stuff like that point out a little bit more. On some faces. Now, actually I'm pouring very paint here that is mixed with a lot of water. And now we're going to have this in this spray here. You can use any kind of old, like Kleenex or whatever bottle to do this, or even buy yourself an old spray bottle. But it's just spraying it on and rubbing it off a little bit and stuff like that. And this is why I'm protecting the floor area, because this can actually, you know, end up things on places you don't want to have black paint. So now we're going to do basically the same thing, but with the chest armor pieces, and this is just going to be connected with strings to one in the front and one in the back. It's a very easy thing to make, very easy armor, but spikes! More spikes! It's going to be like hedgehoggy people, or like that guy from, is it Venom, who has like this very big spiky arm when he's playing. I think he's the bass player. Anyway, someone might know what I'm talking about here. But there's a guy in Venom that has one very big arm filled with spikes. It looks kind of ridiculous. At least one picture I've seen of it. I don't know what I thought about that, but it just has to be with spiky arms. Anyway, keep on making this brown, so it will look rusty and things like that, because we are going to repeat the exact same process as we did on the other things. There is absolutely no exception when I think about it. Who knows? There we go. You see, I even put on metal paint again. But anyway, now I'm just being silly here, because if you have also other, like green and fake blood and stuff like that, you can also add a lot of things to this. You can add a lot of things, like you can have some pieces of flesh being put onto the spikes and being dried in and stuff like that. It depends on which level of scariness you want to do this. And you see, now we're doing this again. And I hope this was informative. I will make some more fantasy videos coming up soon, so in this fantasy months. But thank you for watching. Bye. Watch.